Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual personality. You. Today, I would like. Today, I would like to thank you for coming to a new week and a new week with new life forces and new opportunities and inner impulses that might want to be, well, come to the surface and make themselves known. Well, that is just one aspect of it, of course. But today I would like to speak about the more alive and awake and spiritualized your inner soul spiritual being is, the more the outer world reflects that development. That means the more I have no idea how many times I mentioned this sentence, but it is a sentence nonetheless that makes full sense. Immerse ourselves consciously in development and growing, unfolding our inner cognitive and potential for understanding and comprehension, inner soul forces. That means if you tell me something, I will come to understand you, no matter what you tell me, because I have an interest in doing so, as an example. The more we can, come to understand where the hierarchy is in the outer world in relation to the inner world, and also allowing a certain movement and aliveness in our imagination. It is kind of a half and half. The more we enliven our imagination in a spiritual divine sense, the more the divine meets us from the quote unquote outside, going inward, so that what we develop inwardly also is developed outwardly, in a sense. Although what is developed outwardly takes a little longer than inwardly, because one must have to sustain the new inwardness, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I mean? It is for us to be able to break the mold, for us to be able to break what is normalcy, standard, what is inculcated, habit, repetition, half slumbering, half asleep ways of living. We need to actively be alive and take in the impulses that is constantly presenting themselves to us. The new impulses, not the old. It is about us choosing new choices, more or less. It is about being active and alive and dynamic with our lives. When we are dynamic with our lives and we are dynamic with our inner being, thinking, feeling, will, and not only thinking as a mechanical function that is bound to our brain alone. No. Thinking is truly a spiritual faculty. It is a faculty for both cognition, perception, and sensing. For there is psychic phenomena everywhere in the world, and we are living with mental beings all over the place, more or less. And we are the ones that are the stage play of these mental, emotional, and will beings. You see? So we are the ones that choose to cooperate with either or of certain types of being. We are the ones that entertain these beings. So if we do entertain the white wolf and the black wolf, that saying, right? Of course, this is the immersion of it. The white wolf and the black wolf actually is, as I said in some of my earlier videos, in future times, in future incarnations, we will have come so far in our development that our inner soul spiritual being will be our outer continents. It's the same with the white wolf, black wolf saying. If we feed the white wolf, you become more beautiful inward outwardly. It radiates from inward outwards because you actively choose to cultivate something that is beyond what is standard and normal. You go outside of what is kind of expected of you at most, you know? Because you wish to grow beyond the everyday, day-to-day, normal consciousness that is not put any effort into. You know what I mean here. It is about being able to utilize our mental, spiritual faculties, our feeling, and directing our will in a healthy and a healing and a loving way, in an honest way. And the only way to do it is through dedication and steadiness, consistency. Oh, and it does work. For, well, there is countless examples of overcoming habits and such. Think about your life. You probably have had, unless you have been one-sided your whole life, but it's impossible. Completely impossible. You probably have had a plethora of different varieties of interests in your life, and you have changed it, and people have come, people have gone, and so on and so forth. We do change, and based on our change and our development, if we hold on and cling to what we had, the past, we will stagnate and we will stay and lag behind. But if we allow the unknown, which really isn't truly an emptiness, you know, it is an unknown, yes, but through that unknown, the divine speaks. One needs a little courage, you know, to stand up to that darkness, for what we build towards the future is what we will see in the future. So we connect to a result in the future and then move thereafter. And we'd rather find some image in the future that has, well, overcome the darkness, and borrow kind of from our future selves the direction and insights needed to move on forward. For that is truly both our past self and our future self is here now with us. Our past selves is constantly, we are carrying and bearing this past self on us constantly. So if we haven't been working through it, it is heavy as all heaven. On the other hand, the future, we have countless impulses of spiritual and esoteric qualities that is given to us by our future self, our higher genius, our angelic guardian angel. You see, our guardian angel is our higher self. So the more we cultivate towards the future, but enjoying the present moment, taking in and enlivening the faculties for perception and for cognition, and imagination is part of it. For with imagination infused with inspiration is, well, and intuition is clairvoyance. It is our thinking faculty enlivened and our thinking, feeling, and will enlivened and awakened to a clairvoyant faculty. You are having a direct perception, and the spiritual forces is also informing you at the same time in the background. In a sense, it is all ongoing simultaneously. It is difficult to explain it because it is, well, the spiritual world. After all, we don't have a language for it yet. We are trying to maneuver within this with what we have. But in the end, it is all so worth it for, well, understanding the world to a high extent and knowing the direction we're going, and having faith, love, and hope and warmth in the world at the same time. For even though we do not see it in anyone around you or in any other places in the world, but you know it is fully possible because it is a future human thing, love. You can cultivate it and put it into the world. It is all about listening to the higher world a little and what is it that we should cultivate? What is it that we should inspire and present to the world? What is healthy? What is unhealthy? What is building up and what is breaking down, and so on? And certain thing has to be broken down for other things to come. For us, for example, to go in a new direction or to adjust ourselves a little, we need to let go of certain impulses and take in new impulses. We need to stop entertaining certain ones and start entertaining new ones. That is how we pave our path in new directions, but it requires a little, steadiness. And that is where consistency and strength comes in. That it makes it easier and it takes a shorter amount of time to readjust ourselves based on necessity and what is asked of us from the higher worlds. For we are constantly cooperating with them and working with them and being their little siblings, So, this is what I will leave you with today. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, my God, ancient masters of old, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, and love you on your amazing, beautiful, wonderful path. And may you be provided for with all that you need to survive, live, thrive, being creative, inspirational, and healing to the world, so the world also can choose to follow when the time is right. So, may you be safe and sound. Love you. See you. Goodbye.